We begin with something new at 11. A local hero received a very special award tonight.
I, Nicole M. Shakira, Mayor, City of Melvindale, do hereby proclaim Wednesday, December 20th, 2023, Officer Mohamed Hacham Day in the City of Melvindale.
A Melvindale police officer was honored with his very own holiday at a city council meeting. From now on, December 20th, in the city of Melvindale, will be recognized as Officer Mohamed Hacham Day. The proclamation comes just 6 months after he joined the department. Now, Hacham earned that hero title over the summer when he seemingly came out of nowhere and saved the life of a small child. CBS News Detroit's Ibrahim Samra has the story.
For me, it's been 26 years on this block. Me and my friends, we call it, we have a little name because we basically deter crime and make sure, this block is safe. So we call it K Block. It's short for Kendall. There's a lot of tradition and a lot of memories on the street. My name is Mohamed Hacham. I'm a police officer at the Melvindale Police Department, and I've been there around 6 months.
Perfect. In those 6 months, describe to me, how has life been like?
Melvindale is a small city with a big heart. The 6 months I've been there, it's basically it's the front row seats to the greatest show in America. From police chases to running after people, solving crime.
I've had a 15-year-old juvenile. One's a gray Charger that were occupied by subjects with guns.
I mean, it's been probably, I want to say, the most interesting 6 months of my life. There's things that I never expected to see, and I've seen it within those 6 months. It was just, a normal evening. I was still on FTO. FTO is basically a 4-month process where you're riding around with a senior officer or supervisor or, someone that's FTO trained. Just right in front of me where you're sitting was where I was laying down and the call comes out.
Can a couple cars go east to 7401 Kendall? We're having a report of a 3-year-old not breathing.
Before the call, by about 2 to 5 seconds, I heard screaming outside. And I just thought it was regular kids playing outside. I paid it no attention. And as soon as the call came out and I heard Kendall Street.
7401 Kendall, 7401 Kendall. The 3-year-old male was possibly choking.
That's when I put my shoes on, literally halfway on, and threw a shirt and just ran out the house.
The mother's now saying that the baby was possibly choking.
I didn't even hear, a choking baby on the radio. I didn't even know what was going on. I had no pulse, nothing. At that point, it was just me and the baby. I really didn't care what was around. Flipped the baby over. I was giving the baby, they're called bag blows.
Dispatch team is responding to Kendall. PD's on scene, CPR in progress.
Took the baby, flipped him over, and kind of, held him right here. And, I was doing procedure of what, I was taught and trained.
Station 4, Engine 4, rescue 4, you're needed. Have a child not breathing.
I was literally just, talking to the baby and imagining the baby talking back to me. And I started getting, some food that was lodged up in his mouth.
Boy is breathing and conscious.
A man rushes into action, saving the life of a 3-year-old boy from Dearborn. Video actually captured the moments the off-duty Melvindale police officer saved that child.
In the EMS rig, when the baby was inside there and he started, to cry, and his mother was, calmed down from what she was. She was like up here, and her whole demeanor and voice and everything changed after she heard the baby crying. So sometimes it's good to hear the baby cry. So.
At the end of the day, you helped save the life. A lot of people called you a hero of that day. What would you call yourself?
Just a normal person, man. There's a lot of men and women out there that are doing the same exact thing. We come from a family, you could say from a family of law enforcement. We've never been taught, not to help one another. I would say it starts, it starts from, my grandpa to my mom to my dad. When my father passed away, it took a toll. And just the other day I was thinking about it, the discipline he gave us We thought when we were younger that it was, oh, you know, he doesn't like us and this and that. But no, I tell most people, you know, the discipline is the most important thing you can receive at home. If it wasn't for my dad's discipline, I wouldn't be here where I was today. One of my brother's friends, he made this for us when my dad passed away. He does a bunch of woodwork. This is all of them in the Dearborn Police Dispatch that signed it and sent it over to us.
You were recently recognized.
Yes.
Not only for your efforts on that day, but as a police officer. Tell me a little bit about what this recognition is.
My lieutenant came up to me, Lieutenant Kennelly, great guy. Basically kept the doors open for me. Him and my director at the police academy, they believed in me when nobody did. And he came up to me a few days prior and was like, hey, you know, you're gonna be recognized for Officer of the Year in the state of Michigan. And I was like, I was in complete shock. You know, I didn't know what to tell him. I didn't know to sound excited or, you know, I didn't know what to react. I was like, oh, thank you. I probably didn't show him the best, you know, reaction, but, you know, I was like, in my head, I was like still trying to process it as, you know, like wow, this early.
All right, you're a hero. You're a hero to that boy, to their family, and the community of Dearborn. Please stand and be recognized, and congratulations on becoming the 2023
To know that Officer of the Year in Michigan is right here on Kendall Street where you grew up, how does that make you feel?
I kind of don't let it boost my ego a lot, so it feels great. You know, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of the training I received. Shout out to the Oakland Police Academy. That was what taught me everything. Most importantly, I know my dad's happy, and I feel like, you know, that's him probably still up there, you know, communicating. And I don't expect, you know, myself going anywhere soon. The police car and your presence basically gives people safety. So it's pretty much the front row seat to the greatest show in America.
Now, you might remember that story when we first reported it over the summer. I know it gave me goosebumps at the time. So special to see the man behind the story. Ibrahim is actually working in the studio tonight, so I want you to come here and talk to me a little bit about it.
Hopefully my response was as quick as Officer Mohamed Hacham's.
Oh, just superhero style, just sprang into action. And he's only 6 months into the job. I mean, what inspired him to take on a new career?
You know, when he was a little kid, he went through something that no family would like to go through, and that is somebody breaking into their house. And so experiencing that as a kid it's very traumatic. And so, but seeing the people that were there that comforted him most were the officers. And in the end, they caught the person who did it. And so that kind of inspired him. His father was a big inspiration. He helped make a lot of things for the police department there. They used to have this annual ball, and he used to make the outfits for the police officers. And so that relationship really not only started with his father, but those experiences as a kid. Yeah,
I just love stories like that. And he seems kind of like a soft-spoken guy. He's not used to this much attention, is he?
No, he's a very humble guy. I mean, if you met Officer Mohamed Hacham, you would have no idea that he's done all this already. He's very humble. The guy is really to himself, and it's very nice to see people in the community. I mean, he was just lying on his couch, you know, ready to go to sleep, get a nap in before the late night shift, and he sprung into action and saved the child's life.
So grateful he did. Great story. Thank you, Ibrahim.
Thank you.